Speaking of political biases, I need to cover here the spin on Paul Whelan. And we're going to watch a video on Rumble about people's reaction to this. But man, this is crazy. So they're already trying to spin this. So we're going to be talking about, I want to talk a little about Brittney Griner and Paul Whelan, because I think it's an important topic. So CNN is trying to say that it wanted Victor Bout and a spy held in Germany to be freed in exchange for Paul Whelan. So they're trying to convince us that Paul Whelan could not have been traded for Victor Bout. This is the liberal spin. This is the lie they're putting out there. They're trying to say, oh no, they wanted more. Like Mez said, exactly. How the fuck does CNN know? And is that what Biden is going to say to cover his ass? That, oh, we couldn't get Whelan. We couldn't get him. Because here's what happened. Nobody knew about Paul Whelan till they finished the deal. And finally, people are all talking about Paul Whelan, the Marine, the former Marine who is left behind in Russia. And look, even if he was a spy, right? Even if he was legitimately a spy, he served this country. That's a lot more than Brittney Griner has ever done for this country. Brittney Griner has only talked shit about America. Brittney Griner is going to go back to talking shit about America. Her scissoring with her wife is not going to save lives. And the sad truth is, you're right, Radiosphere. You're right. He's not the first American to be left behind by Joe. That's the sad part. I didn't want to joke about that because it's so sad. It just gets worse and worse. Britt says not a single thing was surprising if you've been watching for the past few years. Jeez, my English is sucking. It's almost at 12:30 p.m. here. So if you've been watching for the past few years, nothing is surprising. It is not a revelation. It is confirmation. Yes. And look, I understand it's important to have confirmation because confirmation moves us from conspiracy theory to legitimate. Good one on Cannon. They didn't have to try. They could have gotten 2 for 1. Absolutely. Absolutely. They could have gotten 2 for 1. They didn't even fucking try. I guarantee they did not even try. They didn't even make an attempt. They just were like, nope, he's done. But here's the thing. This is from a channel on Rumble. And these guys went around and interviewed people on Miami Beach about Brittney Griner. This was very, very interesting. Now, in case you guys don't know, Miami Beach has gotten pretty ratchet in the last 5 years. So just understand that what you see on Miami Beach is pretty typical for Miami Beach nowadays. And I'm talking about South Beach particularly. So let's see what these people have to say. Really good little channel here and video here on Rumble. So watch this.
He's not home yet.
Paul Whelan, I don't like that. He should be home with her. And Biden, go back and go get my man out of there.
South Beach, baby, you already know Wolford County, my brother Shaney Rich.
Yes, sir.
So that reminds me so much of Miami, man. This reminds me of so much of Miami, just like the regular people of Miami. I mean, it's such a guy. This is what I grew up with. This is the people I grew up with. You know, like I knew guys like these two guys growing up. It's hilarious.
Hey, we better ask people about Brittney Griner. Shaney is officially canceled on YouTube, so make sure you guys follow me on Rumble, rumble.com/ShaneyRich. Drop a like, comment, subscribe. Let's hit the beach, baby. See you boys on the tripod. Did you hear Brittney Griner today?
Dude, so many people are in fucking slingshots. Like this is so many people in rented ass slingshots. And they'll put like way too many people in here because I think this is only supposed to be a 2-person thing. And they got 4 people, including some ratchet ass hoe driving, which, by the way, if you don't know if you see her hand with those claws, I do not know how you drive with that. And certainly these people ain't wearing fucking seatbelts. That's definitely not safe. This is definitely not safe. But anyways, but I like that these guys are positive. I like these guys they have the intent to put out good content. Just saying. But these are what people call 304s. So, you know, Miami's area code is 305. These right here are what we call 304s, baby. Live and in person.
She got released from prison.
Look
You guys excited?
Look at that.
Brittney Griner or have low gas prices?
Free Brittney Griner.
Brittney, why?
Cause we ain't no broke ass.
Oh, because they're not broke and they're black. So they're not broke and they're black, and that's their justification. All right.
Bruh. Yeah. We protecting our people. Facts. Free Brittney. Free Brittney. Free Brittney.
You saw Brittney Griner got freed today?
Yeah, absolutely, I did.
What are your thoughts on that?
Like I said, it's mixed emotions because one, you know what I'm saying, you do the crime, you do the time, but at the same time, it's just a little bit of weed.
You heard about
So at least this guy was acknowledging that she did a crime. Because there's people that deny that Brittney Griner did a crime. They think that Brittney Griner didn't commit a crime. They think it's not a crime. And that's the biggest thing. A lot of people do not understand that Asia does not fuck around with drugs. Asia does not fuck around with drugs. Neither does Russia. Neither does places like Singapore. You don't mess around. It doesn't matter whether it's weed, whether it's meth, whether it's, you know, Molly. They don't give a fuck what it is. It's drugs. It's not allowed. And by the way, it wasn't her first time in Russia. And let me tell you something else, guys. When you're about to go to these countries, they text you warnings not to bring these things into the country. They say, hey, by the way, pot is illegal here. Do not bring it. Whenever when I book a flight back to Korea, I get multiple text messages in Korean and in English that I cannot bring pot back into Korea. Text messages on my phone. It's very clear. There's no ambiguity about this. Like Soul Jack says, shout out to Soul Jack. Says Japan, Korea, China, Russia. If you bring weed, you go to jail, period. And people know that. I get all my meth from Finland. Hey, is that how you guys got a female prime minister in Finland with the meth? That's probably how it happened. But let's go. Let's continue to see what this guy says. This old guy is actually kind of based.
About Brittney Griner, she got freed from Russia today.
Not really.
You know Brittney Griner, she smokes a lot of weed and she's lesbian basketball player.
That's against my belief.
Oh, you don't like the ganja?
No.
Have you ever been to Yodi Land?
Let me tell you something, you man. The ganja was approved to be legal for only one reason. Because it killed the part of the brain which caused the intelligence.
Basically, he's saying, fuck Brittney Griner, she's smoking weed, faded then a hoe, 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 faded then a hoe. Yo, what's good? What's your name, brother?
See.
All right, see, I'm Shaney. Nice to meet you. Hey, so you heard about Brittney Griner getting freed today?
Yeah.
Hey, yo, what's your thoughts on that?
That's all right.
How do you feel about them leaving the Marine behind? And they trade for a Russian war criminal. You saw who they traded Brittney for?
Yeah, I seen a movie on that shit.
It's great.
Yeah, so he's seen Lord of War. He's seen Lord of War. He knows. He's seen that Nick Cage shit. He's on that.
Yeah.
Free Brittney Griner or low gas prices?
Low gas prices, man.
That's based. This guy's like, yo, fuck Brittney Griner. I want those low gas prices.
I need to get around.
We're getting kind of a mixed consensus here.
We're actually getting more Brittney Griner people than.
Yo, what's good, brother?
Y'all from Miami or not?
Bro, we listen, man. We plugged in with all the clubs, so
Free Brittney Griner or
That was by the way, this guy's a promoter. So like, if you guys don't know, promoters will come up to you at any point in Miami and try to like hustle you. So that's why he's asking like if they're from Miami, because if they're from Miami, he knows he can't fleece them. But if they're not, then they'll try to fleece them into clubs. They'll be like, yo, you want to get on the VIP? It's only like $300. Like, you want to get in? I mean, this is like every dude in Miami. They're like a promoter at some point.
gas prices?
I don't know who that is.
You don't even know who Brittney Griner is.
I'm gonna go with gas prices. We're not gonna go with gas prices.
No, a lot of people saying free Brittney Griner. I'm confused.
Not driving. They on their toes.
I've noticed it's about 50-50 for Brittney Griner and Logan.
No, I say 60-40.
60-40?
Brittney's winning this. Nobody feels no emphasis on the whole Marine thing. I don't even think people know about the Marine thing, but hey, it's just, you know.
It's true, though. So this is the point that's true for this guy. People don't even know about the Marine. Like, they've been suppressing the story. The story has been suppressed until now. And now that it's getting out, they're coming out with the narrative and they're coming out with the story that, oh, yeah, Paul Whelan was always off the table. That Paul Whelan would never be traded. They'll never trade Paul Whelan. They needed that extra spy from Germany. The Lord of fucking War was not enough. Are you kidding me? Worst WNBA trade ever. Seriously, bro. It's horrible. But let's, Wolf's Pain says, Asia hasn't allowed drugs since the opium crisis. That's very true. They do not forget. They treat the 1800s like they were 18 years ago. I will true that. And you're right. Yeah, sweet one. A lot of people do not know about him. That's true. A lot of people do not know about Paul Whelan. Say his name, Paul Whelan, former Marine. What's become of Marines always go first. Yep. Let's continue.
That's what happens when the mainstream media is just brainwashing our culture.
You know, they don't have,
bro, people are getting
give you the
based, bro.
facts, they don't give you the details, you know, so everybody's just kind of making this like a race thing, kind of like, oh, you know, we got to free the black. Listen, I love my blacks, my Latinos. I'm Dominican. I'm right next to Haiti.
He's Dominican. Anybody? Okay, if you don't know, calling someone Dominican, if they're Hispanic, is pretty much calling them black. Like, it's pretty much the same thing. Like, if you're Cuban and you call it like a Puerto Rican Dominican, they might fight you. Like, that's like Miami fighting words. I know some of y'all don't get that. Some of you aren't down for that, but it's low key, it's a slur.
You feel me? I'm all for that. But at the end of the day, right is right and wrong is wrong. And we got to bring the Marine home. Lower gas prices are free Brittney Griner. She already free. We say from the aspect.
Eat pussy. Do you eat pussy?
All day, every day.
Do you lick ass?
All day, every day.
This guy is licking ass. This guy is out here grinning because he licks this goblin's asshole. Look at this goblin over here. She's got half of her head shaved. He's licking that asshole. And he's got a smile wider than fucking Drex with his soft goddamn eyes and his Carlton sweater. Holy shit. This is what I say is degenerate. This is what we're talking about here. And she's got the elf ears. You're exactly right. The goblin head, the elf ear. Well, actually, the elf ear is kind of a goblin ear too, because goblins got those pointed ears. Bro, this is degeneracy. This is pure degeneracy. Oh man. I did not need that in my life.
Do you lick asshole?
All day, every
That's all
day.
that matter. Everything else don't matter.
How do you feel about the Marine? The Marine ain't home.
Huh? The Marine's not home. See, I didn't know about that.
He didn't know about that.
You know, she was wrongfully detained. So you know, I feel like.
Yes, Nick. Those were pointed ears. Those were fucking pointed ears. For real. Those were pointed ears. Do not eat goblin ass. That's a PSA for everybody out there. It's a PSA. It's FYI.
But was she wrongfully detained though? Because she did bring the weed pen into Russia when weed isn't even legal. You know what I mean? So like, was she?
Do you think that's the best?
See, they had to cut away from that because like the dude didn't even know. The story that they're putting out there is that Brittney Griner was wrongfully detained. Exactly, Eric. How is it wrongfully detained? Now I understand some are forced pleas, right? But look, she committed the crime. She admits she committed the crime. She brought the vape pen in. It's a per se crime. It's a statutory crime. You do the thing, you're guilty. There's no mens rea, right? There's no state of mind. Did you bring drugs into Russia? Check yes or no. There's no maybe. There's no but I didn't mean to. It is yes or no. Did you physically bring it on your person or luggage into Russia? Yes or no? If you did, you're guilty. That's it. There's no arguing. There is no arguing. Meme Copium says, Goblin dead ass. Degeneracy. Of course, a person in Japan would go for the Goblin. I know you love those German Shepherds meme. I know it's why you moved. You moved to Japan specifically to see more German Shepherds and eat their ass.
Trade into WNBA history.
What do you think about them freeing Brittney Griner before freeing the U.S. Marines that's still locked up in Russia, been there for 5 years?
Like I said, when you have a certain amount of status, you have favoritism. So, like I said, that's just how the game goes. The reality, the way the world works. You either get with it or get lost. The fact that she's a WNBA star, she has a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, social media presence. Therefore, she has more people fighting for her. That's just how life works.
So honestly, I will say one thing. This guy back here who was talking about the social media, he's spitting fat. This is actually true. So what he's saying is actually true. Because I'm going to call balls and strikes here, and what he's saying is true. Now, should it be that way? No. But that is true. What he's saying is true. And social media is king. And people who get movements started on social media, they get more attention. That is factual. So yeah, Paul, he is right. So I'm gonna call it out. He's right. Social media does influence people nowadays. It does influence business, politicians. That's why Twitter is disproportionately effective, despite the fact that less than 1% of America, probably a fraction of 1% of America, is on Twitter. It has a disproportionate effect on American politics, business, and everything else. Grifting gets you power, unfortunately. She did have that social media clout. That's exactly right. Do the crime, do the time. It's basically like the U.S. law. It is when we apply it correctly, Nick, and we don't always apply it correctly. Google also asked, what happened to the latest Pimpcast? Guys, it's members only after 24, 48 hours. If it's a weekend or where it's like a Friday episode, I try to leave it like 48 hours to give you guys a little bit more time since I'm usually not doing lives on Saturday or Sunday. But all of my streams are going members only after 24 to 48 hours. They will also be on Rumble. They're all on Rumble for free, or they're members only. That's why I have the cheaper membership, the RPG, the replay gang. So if you want to do that, that's fine. If you want to watch on YouTube, you want to watch on Rumble, you can go over there and watch for free. But that is because people are still striking people for old videos. They are still striking people for old videos. It's some bullshit, but it's still happening. I just had a friend the other day message me, hey, I had a strike from back during Corona a year ago. This is what we're getting. We're getting mass flagging campaigns. We cannot have that. We cannot allow that. No time limit on Rumble. It's up there forever. So it'll be up on Rumble forever, forever, forever. And yeah, you're exactly right, Steve. So you can't get unbanned on YouTube without a Twitter campaign. Yep. But it is true. There are some based people in Miami. There's still some based people in Miami. Let's continue.
More people fighting for it. That's just how life works.
It's like you trying to tell me that you're going to free someone that didn't fight for this country, that knowingly knew what they did, versus someone that we're not going to get out the Marine that's going to have to spend Christmas with no family while she's going to be chilling, smashing her chick, and he's got to be in the cell they're trying to feed him cock meat sandwiches. I'm sorry, it's not.
Bro, he's talking about cock meat sandwiches? That's pretty based. Yeah, and you're right. Cubans are definitely based. Oh, here we go.
The Marine is not.
We got us a thick one.
Yes, Paul Whelan, I don't like that. He should be home with her. They were supposed to do a combination of both of them.
Yeah.
I don't fucking like it. And Biden, go back and go get my man out of there. Paul Whelan. I'm upset with the president for that.
Somebody that sees our side.
It is Brittney Griner and it is Paul Whelan. There's two of them.
And we need both of them back.
We need both of them back. Bring Paul Whelan home.
You heard Brittney Griner got free today?
Bro, I did, man. She's got traded for like some bomb maker, right?
Yeah, the arms maker. Yeah, the Russian war criminal. The king of the Blitz.
So how do you feel about her being free, get to be with her family, versus a gentleman that's a hardcore Marine and he's now with his family?
You know what? I really can't talk on that because I don't really know too much about him.
He was captured for being a U.S. Marine who was spying on Russia. They should have traded Brittney Griner and the Marine for the Russian war criminal.
2 for 1. They should have gone 2 for 1.
That's true.
Though. If LeBron was sitting in a cell, it'd probably be for 5 hours. Yeah. Yo, it's your boy Shaney Rich in Santana.
It's true, though.
So we got the verdict. And it's sad to say we don't agree with the verdict, but hey, it is what it is. Facts is facts, and it is what it is. Everybody agrees that Brittney Griner should be freed.
I wouldn't say everybody. I'd say like 85%, 85, 90%.
Yeah, like 80,
I think we had like 2-3 people that were like, yo, like low gas prices. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The mainstream media is brainwashing.
They don't even know who Paul Whelan is.
Yep. So that's the thing. Everybody doesn't know who Paul Whelan is. They know who Brittney Griner is, and most people were like, yo, get her out there. I'm not surprised, man. I am not surprised that most people did not know who Paul Whelan was and that they were just endlessly simping for Brittney Griner because she's gotten the social media. It's so funny. But Steve, you're totally right, though. This is the biggest WNBA deal in the history of the sport. So now Biden wants to trade Kaepernick for the truth about Hitler fleeing Argentina. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Like literally the only way the WNBA gets trending is when one of their members gets captured abroad because ain't nobody watching those. Oh, what's up, Blonde Asian? Good to see you in the chat. One of my OGs. But yeah, the only way we get to find out about the WNBA is when one of them gets in huge legal trouble abroad. And oh yeah, they're queer. So that's going to make it that's going to make it big. And because it's pot and everybody loves pot, right? So, oh yeah, that shouldn't be a crime. Spoiler alert, it's still a crime in the majority of countries in the world. It's still a crime. We can talk about the wisdom of that from a policy perspective, but that's more of a like theoretical debate. Objectively, it's a crime. And look, guys, there's a lot of countries, when I travel to them, I don't agree to their laws. I don't agree with their laws. If I was their leader, I would not make a law that way. But guess what? If I'm in their country, I am availing myself of the benefits of their country, whether that is taking advantage of delicious food or seeing whatever sites they're going to see or taking advantage of local women, whatever it is. I'm getting that pro. So the least I can do is obey their laws because their laws are never that crazy. They're never requiring me, especially as a man, to do anything that insane. So yeah, I'll obey their rules. If they're too strict, I'm not going to live there. I might just visit. And if they're really, 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 really bad, like Canada, well, you better believe I'm not traveling there. Sorry, my Canadians. I love you Canadians. And my Canadians are some of my best viewers. But I'm not going to Canada until Trudeau is out of office. I cannot give you guys tourism money while Trudeau is sitting in that office. I can't do it. Can't do it in good conscience. But I like these guys because they were based. They told you the facts even when they went against how they felt in their personal positions. That's what we got to be. That's how we got to do it. And look, that's what I want to do for you guys too, is even when I don't like it, I want to say, hey, this is the way it is. Oh my God. You guys posting in the locals chat, Patrick Kennedy, degenerates. So after we showed that goblin looking 304, he posts this in the chat. Those that are people of culture, you guys will know what this is. If you're not a person of culture, you may not know what this is. If you are, you know exactly what